The women's division scene on Raw was just shaken up in a major way, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's new for Uncle Howdy, Liv Morgan, and more. Starting things off with the biggest shocker of the week, and that's the sudden injury to Rhea Ripley. Things were just fine coming out of WrestleMania 40. Rhea had just successfully overcame her biggest threat to date by defeating Becky Lynch, and it looked like they were teasing her next big feud to be against an old friend, Liv Morgan. But news shocked everyone Monday afternoon before Raw, when it was reported that Rhea Ripley apparently had an injury so serious that she was going to be vacant for the women's world title as soon as the April 15th edition of Raw. It just seemed so out of nowhere and very hard to believe when the word first got out. But we get to the April 15th edition of Raw, and Rhea Ripley opens up the show with her arm in a sling. And even in that moment, some fans were still in denial, wondering if it was a part of her storyline with Liv Morgan, but it was not at all. Rhea legitimately vacated the title and said that she has to go on the shelf for several months. And in that emotional moment, Liv Morgan came out to laugh at Rhea Ripley, but they were kept separated from each other. Rhea Ripley was then seen saying goodbye to the Judgment Day, telling them to continue their good work and also look after Dominic for her. So with her injury in that moment right there, Rhea was officially written off of WWE television. Damian Priest now appears to be the unquestioned leader of the Judgment Day with Rhea out of the picture. There was also a power struggle between Damian and Rhea for leadership of the Judgment Day. They were both world champions, both had strong leadership qualities, but now there's no more struggle. All the responsibilities lie on Damian's lap now. The group did seem understandably bummed out after losing Rhea Ripley, but Damian stepped up and lifted everyone up and kept them focused on their goals. And it also looked like WWE has already introduced a brand new internal conflict for the Judgment Day. Within that same backstage segment on the April 15th edition of Raw, Finn Balor calmly confronted Damian Priest about why aren't they trying to win back the tag team titles. Finn seemed displeased with facing Jey Uso and appeared like he would rather be trying to win back the world tag team titles with Damian. But the conflict with Finn's vision is that Damian Priest is now the world heavyweight champion. Damian obviously has bigger things to worry about now in current day as world champion. Damian can't be chasing after the tag team titles when he himself has a whole locker room coming after him and his world heavyweight title. So that's a new conflict there between Finn and Damian that could be replacing the old conflict between Damian and Rhea. Finn and Damian, who were once close tag team champions, now have much different responsibilities since one of them is now the world champion and the other is not. So it'll be interesting to see if some sort of jealousy angle starts forming there between Damian and Finn. But despite Damian's best motivating efforts, it was a hard night for the Judgment Day with both Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor losing their respective matches. So it may be a rough patch for the Judgment Day to get used to a life without Rhea Ripley. And speaking of things changing through Rhea Ripley's absence, that brings us to Liv Morgan. Ever since Liv returned at the Royal Rumble, she's been very vocal about going on what she labeled as a revenge tour to try to get back at all the people that wronged her in the past. And obviously at the top of that hit list of her revenge tour for Liv Morgan was Rhea Ripley. Rhea betrayed Liv Morgan several years ago, and Rhea also took Liv Morgan out of action and made her miss so many months of the ring in 2023. So that's Liv's big grudge with Rhea Ripley that she never forgot about and has been holding on to this entire time. That's why Liv attacked Rhea on the Raw after WrestleMania. And that's why Liv came out to laugh in Rhea's face when she had to vacate the title. And in a backstage interview on Raw, Liv Morgan continued to rub it in Rhea's face and said that this was karma finally catching up to Rhea Ripley, and how this clears up the way for Liv to become women's world champion. A lot of fans feel like WWE has a golden opportunity to turn Liv Morgan fully heel here. Yes, technically on paper, Rhea Ripley is looked at as a heel, but as everyone can see, the live crowds absolutely love Rhea Ripley. And it's because of those great receptions from the fans that has made Rhea feel more like a babyface in recent months. So for Liv to come out and laugh at someone that the fans love for suffering an injury and needing to vacate the title, that's a pretty sick and twisted thing for someone to find humor and amusement in. So it kind of paints Liv Morgan in this heel-ish light of being an evil person with no empathy. But at the same time, Rhea's done a lot of evil and brutal things to Liv Morgan, so you can sort of understand where Liv is coming from, so it's a tough spot to judge. But fans just feel like if WWE wants to have Liv Morgan continue to brag and boast about the injury to the beloved champion, and being the reason why she had to vacate the title, it may be a perfect way to kick off Liv's heel transition. It's been a handful of years, maybe over 5 years, since we've seen Liv as a heel, so it would be something fresh to see. WWE has also flirted over the years with the idea of Liv Morgan going down a crazy path with her persona. But right after they start it, it always ends up getting forgotten about. Well, now it appears to be the golden opportunity to let Liv Morgan go down the crazy route and finally embrace it. Everyone knows that revenge can lead characters into some dark and twisted places. So it would be a very intriguing route and arc if we do get to see Liv's hunger for revenge absolutely eat her alive, and she turns into this crazy and psychotic individual because she just loses control of her anger and need for revenge. And with the way WWE had Rhea mention that she'll be back for Liv Morgan down the line, and the way they had that little face-off right at the end of that segment, you also gotta wonder if they'll be revisiting that feud, but maybe with a twist. What if Liv Morgan does go fully heel and win the women's world title? Well, Rhea can make her return later in the year as a full babyface and try to dethrone the mad with power, crazy heel champion Liv Morgan. So the future is definitely very exciting there. We're officially stepping back into the Bray Wyatt universe and getting bigger and bigger Uncle Howdy teasers as the weeks go on. The April 15th edition of Raw featured the return of the hidden QR codes that pop up on the broadcast. This one featured a puzzle, once again very similar to the White Rabbit days, with the hidden message of this one including lines like, "You forgot about us." It also said, quote, "Time to wake up, take my hand, things will be better, trust me," end quote, along with some new logos. Interesting enough, pro wrestling free agent Matt Hardy even posted this clip of the teaser into his Twitter page, making fans enter his name into the list of possibilities for Howdy's new group. The teasers continue to use the word us, a clear indication that whoever is behind these teasers is most likely a group of individuals. It was also reported this week that Eric Rowan has told promotions that he won't be able to show up to certain shows due to new contract obligations. Rowan didn't say who he was signed to, but that has fans wondering if Rowan is officially on his way back to WWE to be a part of this new Wyatt Legacy faction. And now we have Matt Hardy, who has deep history with Bray Wyatt, also posting teasers. So as of right now, the list of potential faction candidates could include Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss, Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, and Matt Hardy. Basically, if you had deep history with Bray Wyatt, you are a suspect to be a part of this new group with this new mission. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.